supposedly gonna hop on. We'll see if he does. If he doesn't do it by 9:15, I'm blocking his ass.
Yo,
Yo,
man,
what up?
Harry
What up? What
Potter
up?
is
What up?
such
What
a
up?
dope-ass producer, dog.
La música de.
Yo, when you hear that shit at the beginning of the song, dog, that shit's gonna slap, dog.
That fool did what was it? Blue Chips 2? He worked on the whole Blue Chips 2. Was that him? Or Blue Chips 3 102?
I'm pretty sure.
I fell in love with him after that. I was like, yo. We never changed. What are you talking about, food saying, Poppy? It was always 9:00. You guys are tripping. What up, Eric? You knew they were gonna be late. We weren't late, man. It's YouTube delay. That's all it is.
Yeah.
What up, Glenn? Glenn, you on some bullshit too. I'm about to remove that shit from you, though. You on some bullshit right now.
Yeah. Glenn with one end. Definitely acting like Glenn with two ends right now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that bullshit.
Alex, you hear me? Haters, bro. These guys are mad. Dog. How you guys? It's beautiful Monday afternoon or night. Why you guys so mad for? Evening, whatever.
Hey.
What's up with AEW though, dog?
Hey.
Was that your first full event that you checked out?
Yeah, it was actually the first full event. I was watching it on my phone while I was watching the All-Star game. I was hyped. So there's this one cat that I just met. His name is Allergy. Allegra. Allergy Buki something. His Allergy. He said something about John Cena to AEW, so I was hooked. I was like, all right, this shit's about to crack. And one of my homies, Ian, he's like, hey, do you watch it? And I was like, oh, I'm watching it now. This is supposed to happen. The whole card was stacked. The whole card was nice. Everything was good. And then it came to the John Cena part. Tell me why they signed an 84-year-old Christian. Dog, what?
Listen,
that shit got me hot. Once I saw Christian, listen, no, it even got me mad because they didn't use the Captain Charisma song. I'm sure that there's some copyright shit behind it. But at least if you're going to bring Christian back, put the song back. That's all I need to hear.
I'm gonna say this, right? Like that's your fault for buying into like fan theory, right? That's a bad fan theory to begin with, but you bought into fan theory, right? It's like everybody upset with the WandaVision finale. Y'all bought into
who's upset with that? Wait.
I seen a bunch of fucking a bunch of people being mad on Twitter for that shit, and I don't get it. Like whatever, but like, we'll talk about that in a minute. But AEW though yesterday. Listen,
it was nice.
Straight up. Yeah, it was one of the best events. They just botched the ending like really bad though. The Christian thing, like I could live with that, but the way it finished though, I thought for real they're gonna explode everything, bro. You know what I mean? I thought the whole thing was gonna pop, and it was just like some little ass fireworks. So you guys seen the meme with the what are those called? The little light sticks, whatever they are.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's the you know the fireworks to give the kids.
The glow sticks.
The sparks. Yeah, the little sparks. Yeah, they had that. I was dying, man. That was hilarious. What up, Nando? Yo, good pod. I checked it out today. Thanks for the link. On the Wilmington Spud. Get out of here, Spud. You're super about it. You're super about it until the end, which fair enough. Fair enough.
Nando said I get random explosions here in the hood more than AEW's ending.
I mean, listen, I'm not mad at that at all. Like the ending was pretty weak, but I thought the event overall was dope. Even that match was dope. It just the event just kind of what?
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the KO versus what's his name?
Randy? Was it Randy? No, it was Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, such a good fight for it to end in that way. That's how I felt.
Yeah, for sure. Like everything was good. I would have been good with like with Omega taking the dove. All that is fine. I'm good with all that. Just the fucking ending was kind of trash. Goldberg had better fireworks than ending.
Man.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Hey, Manny, to answer your question, I popped it open just for this pod.
Let's go. Cheese
only. And shout out to Adrian. All of the beers I get for free. We get for free. We're sponsored by Common Corners. Rudy's not gonna say it because he's very political.
You're gonna get fucking Adrian in trouble, dog. No. Hey, but that collab is dope. The can design, fire, man. I think that was.
I don't want to open one. I don't want to open it. The other one, just so I can.
I'm in the same dilemma. I think Manny was telling me that Albie is the one that did the label. That label was fire. I really liked
Shout out
it.
to
That
him.
beer,
Shout out.
the beer is good. I wasn't mad at the beer. I think I'm so used to having the chamoy flavor with like a little crispier beer. You know, whether it's like mostly Mexican beers, what I have chamoy with, right? So I pop me a little Corona Familiar or a little Pacifico with some chamoy. I fucks with it. This one had the little hops, had the IPA hops at the end. That kind of threw me off, but I fucks with it. I fucks with it big time. How you doing, Masa? You little
Chilling like a
enfermito or what?
Yeah, little sick boy right here.
Pussy
dog.
ass body.
Accurate hamstring issues, calf issues. I'm like
Mm.
Gio dos Santos, dog.
Oh, just like that, huh?
Yeah.
Just like Gio Santos. You're right, dog.
Just like that. Just like that, dog.
You're
My
right,
man's got no shame. I fucks with it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. My man said I'm
like
just
Gio.
like Jonathan. I fucks with that. I fucks with it. You didn't catch the A-dub?
Nah, dog. I been stuck on this show on Amazon Prime called El Presidente. It's about the FIFA scandal, and that shit goes like way into detail how the FBI set up the president of the Chile Federation to
There it is.
to
Yeah, good. He comes on.
to basically bring these fools down with the money scandal for the World Cups. Shit is pretty cool.
Huh.
Got some good actors in there.
I haven't seen that. Who's somebody you recognize? Who's that? Who's a recognizable?
Fuck. I don't know if you guys ever watched damn, what's the name? Los Héroes del Norte. It was
Oh,
like
fuck,
this.
he left again.
This
No, I'm
show
right here.
is to watch with.
I don't know why you let this motherfucker on. You know he's gonna crash this shit.
Oh, okay.
Accurate.
Oh, there he
I
is.
said
There he is.
Oh, I see his hat.
Yes, let me try to
Los
fix
Héroes
him.
del Norte. I forgot
mother-
the name
Are
of the
you-
actress. But
Are you not
pretty good
Android?
He is.
No,
He
Dog,
is
your
an
camera
Android,
looks
dog.
like it's from 1947.
My bad.
it's
My
just
bad,
my
Masa.
favorite camera.
Oh, never mind. No, it fixed.
All right, hold on. Let me try to fix this now because now we have. Hey, don't even talk yet. Dog. Don't even talk yet.
Hey,
Don't
shout
even
out to
talk yet.
Romo. He's a part of the pod today. Y'all
Can
gonna
you
see
hear me?
Romo in a little bit.
Don't even talk yet. Don't even talk yet.
Can you hear
'cause
me?
you're not on camera. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can
So
hear
you
you.
guys are about to
Okay.
see Romo in all his glory.
Romo.
Bam,
Damn.
bam.
The disrespect. Romo, because he's tall and I'm short.
That's because I can see the shadow on your head. That's why. You know, you're usually nice and crisp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can see
You're
all that.
coming.
Yeah.
You're coming.
Yeah.
You're coming.
Right. What, I'm going to get a hat. Can you give me a hat?
You don't need one.
You made him
No,
subconscious,
no.
dog. You made him subconscious, dog. He said, "Let me get a hat."
Ignores me too.
This was a 6
Oh,
p.m.
yeah.
shadow on the top of his head, dog.
So this hasn't been around.
No, it's more like 6:40.
He hasn't been here for a minute. I forgot about the banter, dog. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready.
Was I wasn't ready. No,
I gotta listen to that shit. I'm about to be rabbit, mom spaghetti, your shit.
You're gonna get the whole rampage by the time you took off, baby. You gotta get it
That's
all back
crazy.
now.
You know what? I'm struggling too because it's like, you know, I haven't done this in the longest time, right? Obviously, in my mind, I kind of figured, okay, I got home from my shit, right, that I'm doing right now. I got home, like, oh, I have plenty of time to shower really quick, change the boys, and do that whole thing. So I jumped in the shower and I changed the boys. You know, well, obviously showered the boys too and all that. Next thing you know, oh hell yeah, Lisa got me a hat. Oh yeah, clutch as fuck. There you go. But in my mind, like,
Never
all right,
mind. Never mind. Hey, your shadow was better, dog. Take that shit off. What the fuck kind of hat is that?
yes, yeah.
No, I know, dog, but the way that it's built, you need a fitted hat. You need to get into the fitted life, puppy. Yeah,
I'm
come on.
okay. Anyways, point is,
Birthday.
I thought I was gonna be here on time, and yeah,
That didn't work out the way you thought it was.
it didn't work out the way I thought it was gonna go down and stuff. And then I realized that I gave Manny my equipment, right? Hence, why? Yeah.
You ain't shit, dog. You really ain't shit. But glad to have you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thanks-
Welcome back
thanks-
to.
Welcome back.
Serving.
Welcome
shit, like-
back. Sir.
I'm back
Can
on
I see
YouTube.
Can they see him finally?
Yeah. They can see him. They can see you right now, but I'm
Nice.
fixing that. I'm fixing that, baby. On your trip. Don't worry. I got you.
You know where the moneymaker's at. Come on now.
You know what I mean? I gotta get you in here. You know, I'm a Calvin Klein model from West Adams.
Yeah.
Yo, this
I'm
gonna
the
be
new
popping
Jack.
off. This gonna be popping off sometimes. I was dying with
That's
that.
crazy. How you guys been though? How you guys been? George, how was Yosemite?
Dog.
No. Don't ruin
Yeah,
my show
look at-
just
you see-
yet.
look at
Don't
this.
ruin my
Yeah,
show just yet,
hey,
dog. What you doing?
Hey,
I know you haven't been
hey.
here for a while, but you're not gonna ask that question when we start the show.
We
Angel.
got a
Come
good
on,
formula
dog.
going on. Listen,
Yeah,
you
don't
have to
ruin my
take a
show
back
already,
seat right
baby.
now. You went from
Oh, it's your
passenger.
show now.
You
That's
you
your
went
show.
from passenger to like in the trunk. Who do we put in trunk in high school? Remember?
Oh, Kevin! I thought
Yeah.
he died.
Yeah,
Oh my
you're
God,
Kevin
I
right now.
remember.
Yeah, we threw you to
Yeah.
the trunk. All this space is taken in this car, so you talk me. When you called upon.
All right, Angel. I'm
But
gonna need you
Kevin,
to do.
hey, but that story was scary. We thought we killed him.
I thought we killed him, bro. I was already shooting. Yeah, we're not gonna get.
Hey,
into
Angel. I'm gonna need you to do me a favor today, though, because you don't have your mic. I'm gonna need you to kind
Yeah.
of keep your microphone in the same place and not move your head around too much, because or else your audio kind of goes shit for me, right? And you know,
Sure.
for YouTube it'd be fine, but we gotta put audio out too. So try to keep your head steady. You know, don't move your head. Pretend to get a fat neck and don't move your neck. There you go. There you go. All right, man. We got about 2 minutes before. 2 minutes before we fucking start the show. Glad to have Angel back. I didn't think you were gonna make it. Legit. I blocked you for a second. I was like, maybe he will hop on. All right, let me open it up again. Just because I didn't want to go through this again, but I did it. I did it just because you're back. I appreciate that.
Okay, I
what's
thought
up?
you were just mad at me that I wasn't helping. I forgot about that. You got to set it up. I forgot you have to set anything up.
Yeah, no, I have to. Well, if you keep hopping on, I won't. Right? Because I can leave it like this and it can just show up being all pretty. But if you fucking miss next week, then I have to set it up again. So don't miss next week. All right.
All right.
We need an official statement.
Yeah. I need it in writing. That's like I hold you up to it, though.
Yeah.
So I could.
There, hold on, I got you. It'll be there. Official statement.
Um.
The YouTube too. Shout out Roman, by the way.
No. Let's not shout out Romo. At all.
We don't.
Ever.
No, we don't.
Ever.
We don't use that name here. Hey, we don't use that name here.
Romo's the one that's banned. He's banned, not banned, but banned.
He's bad.
You're the closest thing we got to Roma on this pod.
Yeah.
No, hey, George, I need you to buy a game on Steam real quick, though.
No, don't tell me it's that healthy shit.
I need you to buy a game that I didn't think I was going to tell you to buy, but I need you to buy a game, though.
Listen, have you ever talked so much shit about something that there's no? Listen, me and Alessandrini, I talked too much shit. Even when he left, I couldn't say like, "Damn, I'm gonna miss him." I had to keep that same energy. I'm like 75% talk shit about this game that I can't go on it because I know.
Nah, you have to though. Listen, Valheim is pretty dope, bro. Like, it's stupid as shit.
I
But
can't
it's
even
super
pronounce the name,
addictive.
dog.
Dog, me, Rooney, and Jesse stayed until like 5 a.m. on Saturday playing that shit, dog.
Nope.
You know what I mean? That shit is amazing. It's pretty dope. Gotta get Valheim. All right, boys. Let's get into the show. I'm gonna start the intro, then we hop back in.
Let's go.
All right. We gotta mute it for a second. Angel, did you get a chance to see the prep doc? Either way, just follow me. Just follow me. I'll pitch it. I'll pitch it to you guys. Yeah. Just follow me. No. All right, we're coming back. We're coming
I'm not
back.
gonna hit you from backfield.
Nope, that's not the right one. Let's try this one. Good evening.
Damn, they heard all of that shit.
Yeah.
They heard all that shit. They heard all that shit. All that shit. Where, you know, when we're usually muted. When we're usually muted, all that shit. They heard all that.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if it's gonna be one day, they're gonna hear it. If today's
Listen,
I didn't say anything stupid.
Listen, yeah, we could have said some worse shit that y'all don't hear when we mute y'all. Like last week, for example, when we thought we were off air and we flipped all y'all off.
Yep.
Listen,
Yep.
It could be worse.
Listen, we're just getting started. Angel's here. You threw a wrench on my show, so let's get started there. Welcome back, Angel.
Dictator.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It ruined my show. I'm producing this bitch as my show. But yo, well, Angel, it's a nice surprise. But I guess you want to celebrate your birthday with us. By the way, happy belated birthday, my guy.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Friend of the pod, Angel's here. Official friend of the pod. Friend of the pod. Let's get how it is.
Well, look, George has been messaging me for several years now. Like, hey, can you make a guest appearance? You know, listen, I'm 30 now, right? So I figured, you know what? I'm mature.
Okay.
I fell asleep. I grew up overnight. I'm 30. I said, all right, George, I got you. I'm 30. I can come.
You
on
got
the show.
older. You didn't grow anything.
Yeah, you ain't growing though. You get to that older though. The
older.
growing stopped like at 14 though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's no growing. There's no growing there.
Well, but anyways, yeah. So I figured, fuck it. You know what? George's been asking me for a few years. I'm 30. I'm mature now. So I said, fuck it, George. I'll come on the show. So I'm here. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. And we'll see how long your maturity and your 30-year-old maturity lasts in the show today. But glad to have you. George, what's up, Papa?
Hey, can I pick at him a little bit? I just want to get that little. I want to get little Angel back.
Chill. Listen, Angel's gonna come back. I know it, dog. I seen this get triggered at. We play GTA together. I seen this motherfucker get triggered, dog. We'll talk about GTA. We'll talk about GTA in a bit. But George, I heard you want to find your chi. You want to find your energy out in the woods.
Have you ever seen that Burt Reynolds thing where he goes out into the woods and tries to find himself and then he ends up just coming back worse than what he was?
Yeah.
That was me, dog. I was clowning Masa off air. I apologize, Masa, for calling you, saying you have a pussy ass body. So I went high into the Yosemite Mountains. And I was coming back. My altitude sickness. I've never felt altitude sickness in my life. I started throwing up. I started feeling like shit. I got the chills.
I heard the baby got a car sick, but I guess you were the one that got car sick.
Aria, we knew she was car sick, like motion sickness, but like on the way over there, she threw up twice. On the way, so it was bad, but it was cool. It was fun. It was lots of fun. Spot was beautiful. Spot was nice. We had like an acre of land to roam with. I was out there fucking fighting with turkeys. I was trying to look for some roosters. I was looking for a bear. Actually, hey, dog, if y'all listen, look what I got now, dog.
You got yourself a knife?
I don't know who trusted with me. I don't know why I trusted myself with
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
But next week I might come back without a finger, y'all.
Put out a box cutter.
Hell yeah.
Let me go turn on PS to my GTA.
Wait, what? Say it again.
I heard every word you said.
Yeah. Say it again.
Go ahead. Hear me now?
Yeah, you're still chopping off a little bit, but we'll figure it out. I think once you get going, it clears up.
And thanks for the chat. Yeah, Bert Krischer, whatever his name is. My bad.
Bert Krischer.
Hey, I heard that shit. You didn't see me say Bert _ Yeah. Yeah, I missed that.
No, but your IG pictures and some of the pictures Jeremy has in the camera, that shit looks fire. That shit looks unreal. That shit looks postcard. That shit's dope. Masa, how you doing, Papa?
I'm all right. No,
sick.
All that.
Well, now we have Angel back, so I ain't gotta talk no more.
No, chill. We like to communicate with Masa, though.
One more person. Every time there's one more person, though, I could just say less. That shit is amazing.
Listen, and that's fine. But like, this is an intro. Like, I'm supposed to get you, talk to me. Let me know how you've been.
Fine, dog. What the fuck?
All right.
I said I'm fine.
See, why you get that? Why you get nervous with Angels around, though? Like, it seems like you get shy.
I don't.
What's going on? Hey,
no, low key though. Story time. Angel gave me a game at FIFA, which was weird. He like put up a fight. Yeah.
No, you lost your touch.
I'm nice, bro.
Huh?
You've lost your touch, my guy.
Hey, this is me usually talking shit about people. Hey, Rudy, tag me in, dog. Let me say some shit about myself.
Got you. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
You should have quit FIFA a long time ago, my man. 1-on-1, you ain't it, Poppy.
You never.
All right, man. All right. Let's get going. Let's start off with Derrick Williams. Sign my man, right? After we sign him, we find out that DC United had the discovery rights on him, right? Or whatever that's called, whatever that thing is called. So the way it works, you put as many names as you want on a list and say, "Hey, I'm looking for these guys. Might bring them in." Right, and then that means that you own the rights for MLS if they ever come in. Weird, but it's a free transfer. It's a free. Listen, and I'm talking shit just because I think the rules dumb, but business wasn't bad, right? Because we're looking at 100. What is it? 125K for the discovery rights on Derrick Williams. 75 of that and GAM money this year and 50 next year. Not a bad take, right?
I'm okay with it. I just think it's a stupid ass rule. It's so stupid. The fact,
it's dumb.
I don't, and that's why I think the MLS needs to get to par with this shit because like when you have a discovery rule, a discovery list, fuck it. The Galaxy should put Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. We discovered all those motherfuckers.
They probably
get me
have.
so stupid.
It's a Galaxy, so I wouldn't be surprised.
No,
Yeah,
but it's so stupid. Listen, I get it. It's not a lot of money. It's still 125,000 that should have never been spent.
Well,
But I'm okay.
and I guess it's looking for parity, right? Like that's why the rule is for parity, so everybody has a shot. But at the same time, is like DC goes after him, and LA Galaxy goes after him. Like he's not gonna sign with DC, bro. You know what I mean? Just facts, right? Just facts. Like he's
How
coming from
stupid
England.
are
He's
you
not
gonna
gonna
look at
sign
the
with DC.
league? As a league, like you put this rule up, and then Derrick Williams has a chance to go to the LA Galaxy, but DC United discovered him, so he's like, "Nah, fuck off. I want to stay in England." So how stupid are you gonna look?
Didn't we take advantage of this rule though? Was it a year or two ago? Can't remember who was on, but somebody went somewhere and we got, was it like 200K?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was for no. Well, actually, no. I think you might be thinking. I think you might be thinking about Ola, but I might be wrong.
It was for Lassiter.
Was it for
He came
Leicester?
back.
Oh, it was last year.
So they had to pay for his rights.
But that kind of
He's
makes
gonna
more
have to pay.
sense if he actually played in the club and he's actually been here with us.
But I think it goes back to parity though. Like parity. Like you have to small market teams obviously gotta get paid somehow.
Well, but here's what I say though, right? Like, and I know I'm derailing this conversation because it's supposed to be Derrick Williams, but I'm derailing for a second. I don't get how you talk about parity when like new teams get these fucking massive salary breaks, right? Or they get like the more money to spend over other teams. Like that's how Atlanta United. That's how Atlanta United like got that chip, right? That's how trash ass Leva is been. You know, decent because they have extra money to play with the other teams don't. So like, I don't listen, I don't think it's fair.
You're starting a team from scratch opposed to a team that's already established.
I don't know.
A team that's already established shouldn't be struggling like we do.
No. See, but what I'm saying though is if you can start clear, like the Galaxy starts clear without anybody in their books. They could do a good job with the regular salary, right? One of the big things that's keeping us down is not only bad front office and bad coaching, but also like the fact that we have so many trash players on our books, right? So like I don't necessarily think you need that extra money or extra leeway to become better just because you're a brand new team. But let me
got it on the chat. It was Ariola is the guy I was thinking about. It was a DC.
Yeah.
So he went to DC and we got those right.
So we're just transferring monopoly money back and forth at this point, right? It's so dumb. But we had our talk about Derrick Williams last week, and I think we're all in agreement that we liked him. But Angel, obviously you weren't here. You want to give your piece on Derrick Williams real quick?
You know what? I think you guys hit it all. I mean, I'm happy with it. The championship is. I have no issues with the championship, especially. I probably think we can compete. Or MLS teams in general. That's if we were to talk about, hey, where do you be in England? They'd probably be in the championship or the second, right? I think it's good. We'll see. Especially, was it an American mom or whatever it is? Is it American mom, American dad? Something?
Yeah.
I think Rudy, you mentioned like I don't know how the fuck they're figuring this shit out, but these are the moves like with Bond, with this one, like fuck yeah, take advantage of that shit. You don't got to spend international slots, and you know what? If we can get a team together of where we have 3-4 international slots to sell, fucking sell them, and we make that money, right? Fucking genius, brilliant.
Well, like listen, and the thing about it, like, just kind of agreeing with you here, it's I still see a lot of complaints about like, but we're still missing, so and so and so and so and so. Yeah, and we still have like these spots open, right? And it seems like there's money to be spent too because like these guys are coming in and free, and we'll talk about Samuel in a minute, but let's stick to Derrick right now. It's dope, right? One thing that really caught my eye and kind of make me want to see what this guy's all about is the Rovers fans on Twitter. Do you guys remember the sentiment we had when they let go of? We'll say that again.
Sandrini? Yeah, definitely.
I'm talking about like you guys remember when AJ left, how we felt, and it was like, what the fuck? Like, how are we letting him go? Obviously, I think that one was weird. It's a weird move. This fool is moving for a few reasons. Apparently, he's in a contract year, and there was no negotiations because he wanted to move. So they weren't going to send him back. and he's injured, right? So like it's crazy to me when I see Twitter and like everybody's like upset that he's leaving, but understand that he had like a season full of injuries last season, and he's still carrying season, but they hated to see him leave, right? Talking about like he's one of the best, one of the better pairings of center backs in a couple of years. So it sucks for them, but I think for us it bodes well that they have that sentiment, right? Their fans have the sentiment. Because if I listen to anybody, it's gonna be the fans. Because that's what we are. That's what we're about. So to know that they had some appreciation for him and they didn't want to leave, it's a good note for us, right? It seems like a good deal for us.
I'm with it. I'm not against it. I'll take it. He's officially one of ours, and you could hear his American accent when he talks. So I'm down with it. That's where the American comes from. I heard it.
All right, listen. Is he bringing the luck of the Irish?
Maybe.
We have one Irish legend in our team that's taking us to greatness. Can he add to that, right? Can he add the Irish luck to the G's? It was interesting.
Really, I like how he's standing, by the way.
Yes. It's my new thing. I have the green screen today, so you can't see it back on, but the whole stand-up thing, it feels good. Feel like I'm free. I can move around a little bit. Wait, he's throwing the show again. All right, stop. Yeah, I can do my whole hand gestures. And if you guys not watching on YouTube, you should be watching on YouTube Mondays at 9 p.m. All right.
Really on the AK camera.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's why I look on. All right, never mind. All right, let's move on. Samuel Ganser. This got heated up real quick today. I seen a few fan accounts saying it's complete. I haven't seen it in the official, so I'm not gonna go out here and say it's official, but it looks.
It's official. He's here. He's in the US already.
It looks like it's gonna be a finalized deal, or at least announced to us. Might be finalized, but it's not announced yet. And we saw some details today, which goes back to this thing of good business from the G's, right? As far as the reporting goes out right now, it's looking like a 3-year deal on a free-ish transfer because Monaco look like they're gonna hold some percentage of future sale.
Yep.
24 years old, right? Yeah, young. It seems like he's getting less and less minutes after one of the new acquisitions this year. But man, 24-year-old kid for free. You know what I mean? Yeah, go for it.
It's hard to think the Galaxy are doing moves like this just because of what we've been used to in the past. But I'll take it. He's a winger, I believe, correct?
Yeah. He's plays out wide.
A winger. That's something that we're always in the market for because we sometimes end up playing people out of position and everything. So if it's a natural winger, I'm game with it. And the fact that he's coming off of, you said, a free-ish transfer just because Monaco still owns some of his rights. Listen, it's some shit that we're not used to. It's some shit that in the past we would have given this player a TAM. He would have been here for 5 years, and then we kind of would have been,
Well, listen, it looks like it might be a TAM deal, which is okay. All right, it's okay. It's a 24-year-old kid who's in a TAM deal. A lot to prove, I guess. But it looks like he's coming with some kind of hype. So I'm okay with this. But the fact that we're not paying up front for him, right? There's nothing like he's just coming to us on a free transfer. I think is really big. And just kind of going back and reading the chat. I know we were talking about Derrick Williams when Glenn posted this, but low risk, high reward type of thing again, right? Where if it doesn't work out, like okay, cool, maybe we have him in the books for the the 2 seasons and then try to get him off. But it costs us nothing to bring him in. Right. And again, going based just on the highlights and just on some of the stats, it looks like the kid could play and he has some talent, right? Maybe he not developed 100% yet, but he has some talent. So I'm excited about it. Angel, you have any thoughts on Samuel Ganser?
Yeah, man. I know I'm probably a little delayed, but and I saw the stats, right? And Rudy, I don't think the stats are all that great, if I recall. And I think you guys touched on it last week, or if I'm not mistaken. But I know that was it's Monaco, bro. Monaco is not a pushover team. They know what they're doing. They've had some players come up through their academy. Mbappe came through there. If I'm not mistaken, Titi came through there. So when it comes to talent, especially those type of fast-paced players, listen, he may not be cutting at Monaco, right? Monaco expects this and this and this. High stuff. They're trying to get back into being a contender to compete with PSG and all that shit. So I get that. If it's not gonna work for him, great. This is this is our type of moves that we gotta be going. Gotta go for those type of players. Hey, this guy is at Monaco. Monaco is aspiring for something else. He's not cutting it, but guess what? This guy is definitely gonna be good for us. So that type of move, all things considered, fuck. I mean, Monaco. If you tell me, even if he's coming from like Lille or Rennes, those teams tend to make pretty good wingers. You know, yeah, Rennes. They make they make good players. I mean, you watch them play; they're both fast-paced player teams, and that's that. The French league is not even entirely fast-paced league, but those teams are. All right, so if you tell me you bring me somebody from Monaco, fuck yeah, I'll take that all day. And then the way that it's coming, Jesus, fuck yeah.
And so two things here, right? Glenn saying we're using post first year of COVID to our advantage. The front office is dope at playing poker, and yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it, right? Because I think some of these deals we might not see any other year, right? But because it is a COVID year, because the teams or clubs have lost so much money over the past year, that some of these deals make more sense now. So I definitely see that. And two is like, this kid is 24 years old, right? And you said like his stats might not show all that, but there was interest from Valladolid and Alaves for this kid in the winter, right? So like it's not like this kid. Excuse me.
And SKC.
Oh, and SKC. Okay, so before I got there, like there was interest from him in Europe, right? And when you think about a kid who's 24 years old, like you think that he would like to stay in Europe. So that goes to say a lot about what G's or the G's game they have, right? Like how they're spitting at these fools to get them on board, because I don't think that's an easy sell.
The player, for example, right? If you're, and this is not really, I mean, yeah, you know, it's a dab. I don't give a fuck. Valladolid ain't shit. Alaves ain't shit. SKC ain't shit. So if you're playing on Monaco, and if you're trying to, I guess, you know, put your name back out there or make an impact, when you go play, you know, for the LA Galaxy, we're gonna get primetime games. We're gonna be nationally televised. We're gonna be televised in England, whereas they might not even be able to watch Valladolid, right? It might be televised in France, right, wherever they're at. So for him to come here with that platform, it's like, hey, win-win for him too, because if he can show it what he can do, listen, it's kind of like Antuna with Chivas. You know, he went to get and got paid. Same type of thing. He might not end up at Valladolid. He might end up Villarreal, which that's a step up, you know, from Valladolid to Villarreal or Sevilla, right? That's what he wants to do. He's if he comes here, he performs. He's gonna put himself back on the map. You can say, right? Coming from Monaco, say, hey, look at what he did Galaxy. Then you're gonna have interest from other clubs, from bigger clubs that are not Valladolid, that are not Alaves.
Yeah, 100%. But it still goes to show what the Galaxy are spitting, though, right? Because I don't think MLS is on a 24-year-old's radar, right? Maybe his agent, right? Maybe his agent is speaking like the marketing and the way that MLS is getting televised now, right? Maybe it's the agent, but that's still a stretch, right? Because a few years ago, I'll tell you, we're looking at a French winger who's 24 years old. Like that'd be a hard, like, you know, we'll be asking what's wrong with him.
Right? I think
like,
it's huge, though. Yeah, but I think it speaks volumes to the development of the league, the ways that we are. I think the Almiron does things for this. I think a lot of things that have progressed in the last maybe 4 years of this league. Even the Antuna move to Chivas, it's still like, oh, he went from MLS to Chivas, but it's still something that is better for him. He's playing well. He's doing good. And I think agents see that, and they're starting to recognize the fact that this might not just be a step down, but more of a developmental where we could push them to where they want to be. Because obviously, let's talk reality here. This is not the end all be all for a 24-year-old winger. And that's fine for us. That's okay with us. Yeah. If we could keep this player for 2 of the 3 years that we have, or the full 3 years, he gives us what he wants. We shake hands. He goes on to Europe, and out of those 3 years, we get two chips. Like, it's a win-win for both parties.
Yeah, and it goes far beyond that, right? Because I think from an aspect, business aspect, right? If you could do that, that opens the door for a shit ton of young talent out of Europe, right? Like, listen, it's the LA Galaxy, right? So whether, I'm pretty sure everybody listens to it likes this, but we're the most recognizable team in the USA, right? I know North America, you might bring up America and Chivas, because those are also clubs with big following. But other than that, like, I don't think the Galaxy shies away from anybody when it comes to just the mass of acknowledgement that the club has worldwide, right? With all that being said, we haven't seen this type of business with the Galaxy for a while, though. Right? This really wasn't like what we have been looking the last 2 years, and I'm just saying that for recent memory, like you know that wasn't the case, right? We're looking for older guys who could win as a chip that year. This looks different. This looks like it's building to something, and that excites me, man. You have no idea to what extent like that really gets me up, because it's what I've been wanting for.
Is your pants really quick? Let me know if it's a little wet.
No.
Let me know.
I'm wearing shorts. Is it drip?
Is it moist? Is there a little drip?
Hey, when it comes to questions, how is it? Like, can I ask a question, or can I have my own questions, or do I gotta say that for the question segment?
Listen, if it's part of the conversation, let's throw it in there.
So we're talking about signings. We're talking about a lot of things, right? That I think have to get passed through Chris Klein. Where are we on Chris Klein? Because listen, we're doing moves that are we're doing moves that we haven't done in the past. Sure, we could attest to DTK. We could attest to Vanny. They're bringing this philosophy, but at the end of the day, if we hold Chris Klein to such a bad standard of like, oh, this club's shit because of you, but now we're doing signings that are working for us. We're saying working because we haven't seen the product on the field, but makes sense on paper. Where are we at? So, he's hasn't done great the last couple of years. Doing moves right now that are relevant to what we need. So what are you guys seeing?
Yeah, no, listen, I'll give my take real quick. I think you have to give kudos to Klein, however you want to see it, right? Because if you think it's Klein moves, then they're good moves. And if you think Klein is just getting the fuck out the way of DK, that's a good move too, right? I'm still not Klein in. Right? I'm still closer to Klein out. But I think he's doing it. Again, whether it's his moves, I doubt it, or getting the fuck out the way for DK so he could do his thing, or a combination of both with a little bit of persuasiveness from Greg Vanny, right? Whatever it is, like right now, he's doing right because he's not getting involved, or he's getting involved and doing the right things. Either way, I don't care. It sounds right for me right now.
Fair. All right.
And I think like the big, when we have an answer for that, it's at the end of the season, right? If this team performs and it's a great team, then Klein is going to get a nod in his back.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really saying anything, because we're Galaxy fans, right? We can accept, with the exception of a few people that I'm never going to love ever, no matter what. It's easy. Just get us, do whatever, whether he is doing something or not doing anything at all. If our team starts performing, if we start winning, if there's a formula there, whatever that formula is, keep it, and you get to stay. Then Klein in as fuck. But until then, listen, I love the dude as a person. Rudy, I know you do too. He's a good human. Yeah. We've talked to him plenty of times.
Friend of the pod. Hell yeah.
Friend of the pod. Yeah, friend of the pod. Yeah. He wanted to text me to come over because George, George was a connect. He connected us. Mm-hmm. But listen, if he figures that shit out and you get it going, everyone's gonna. The past is the past. The last 5 years, we already suffered enough, right? At this point, we can only go. Well, we think, right? We'll find out.
Chill out, chill out.
Yeah. We can only go one way, right? But it seems like he's like you guys said. These moves. This is not part of his MO, and whatever it is, whether he is involved or he's not involved, it seems like he's doing it right. So at the end of the season, we'll be able to address that better, because it's hard to stay Klein in. Right? It's really hard to stay Klein in, regardless of your personal opinions. But right now, there is no Klein in unless this team does otherwise.
Listen, I think right now, like they're doing it again, where they're filling us up with hope, right? And that kind of shows out the temperament a little bit. But the club is not in a good place, right? If you just look back at the last 3-4 years, the club is not in a good place. So like I can't be Klein in with him being the president of the club, being in situations that there is a lot to remedy by having a good season, having a good playoff push. Give me a chip, and I'm leaning closer to that. But it can't right now. I know we're filled with a little hope and excitement, but we can't actually say anything until the end of the season when we see where we turn up. All right, let's move on. So Klinsmann, Jonathan Klinsmann, he was with the U23, and my man got knocked. Oh, I don't know if he got knocked or not, but he got a concussion though. Mm-hmm. He got a concussion today.
Oh, shit.
He got a concussion today, so he got sent back home. So he won't be with the team. Which is again, first of all, I hope he's doing good, because concussion is no joke. You know what I mean? So first of all, I hope he's doing good. But here's my take on this. Like, I don't think this is it's not a bad look for him long term, because I think he now gets to compete with Bond. You know what I mean? He gets to throw his name in there and say, hey, look at me in the preseason, right? Because I think right now,
Oops.
everybody.
What do you say?
I think compete with Bond now, right? Because he wasn't in preseason. He was with the U.S. national team or the under 23s, and now that he got the concussion, he got sent back, given the concussion protocol and whatever that takes. But he will be training with the team, right? As soon as he gets a clear, he will be training the team, and it's good to have him be in that team and get a look at, right? Because I know I think everybody's leaning towards Bond being the number one. But it's really dope to have Klinsmann in there right now and get a look at preseason, right? Because he could throw his name out there. If he works hard and he looks good, he could throw his name out there and make that competition. What do you guys think?
I'm okay with him coming back. I'm okay with him fighting for his job, but I want them to be very careful. We see what happened with the Bradford Jamesons. We don't want any of that to ever happen. So take your time. If that means that he takes 2 months off because we want him to be at his full health to complete for that job, I'm all for it. But if they feel that he could do it, he could make it happen, then it's good, because then we've talked about this on the pod. We want players to always feel there's somebody behind them to always compete for that position. And with Klinsmann going to the U23, I think Bond felt that I never want our players to feel this, but to feel that he had that number one spot.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I hope he's healthy. I hope I hope he clears everything. I hope he feels right. But yeah, it's good competition for our players.
Yeah, no, but 100% right on that. Like clear protocols first, right? Clear concussion protocols first. Make sure you're good, and then come back out here, because you're right. It's a long game. My man is young too, right? So it's a long game. You don't want him to go there. And just to answer the chat real quick, it seems like he still get called because the list for that is not necessarily in, and I think they're calling 3 keeps. So he might have shots to still go to the Olympics if they qualify for that. But for now, I think he's going to come with back to the G's and practicing with them.
And then,
Angel.
Even then, let's say he does end up leaving with the U.S. national team. That's still down the line, right? The purpose is what you guys mentioned, the competition now, right? So even if he doesn't end up getting the number one spot, Bond still understands, hey, this guy's here. They're looking at both of us.
Yep.
Whereas, I just had the next month to be the number one because Klinsmann's not here. Now it's like, no, now I'm number one because I'm fighting for it, because I ousted this guy, or vice versa, right? Klinsmann would be like, no, I got my spot. Now, obviously, when he leaves, then Bond, that's going to be up to him if he can take that back, right? Or whatever it is. But I will say one thing. The one thing I don't want is the ring around of who's going to be our starter this weekekend, right? Was it like 4 years ago, 5 years ago? We had that issue with the Rowe. Yeah, with both Brian, is it Perk and Rowe, and who was the other one? I don't know what the other one was. But it was just like, oh, well, who's it going to be this weekend? No, you need to have some consistency, especially with your keeper. And not the type of, consistency like Trash as Bingham. I mean, good consistency,
There it is. Yeah. There he is. There he is.
Getting go out the show without talking about him. No, but I think you're right, though. I think you're right when it comes to that. Especially because of hoping, one of these two are more vocal than Klinsmann was. I mean, than Bingham was. So you want to be accustomed to your keeper and the way he leads that back line. So I agree with you. But with that being said, like I was impressed of what I saw from Klinsmann, even on that 6-0 ass whooping that he took. I thought he knew what the fuck he was doing. So I'm really glad that he will see, or at least Randy will see. I'm glad to see that he'll be there, and he will get a look at. He will compete for that spot from the start of the season. So again, sucks that he got a concussion, but I think it works out well where he gets to look at G's as long as he clears that protocol. All right. Or Masa, George, you guys have anything else to say about JK and his head concussion?
Masa got to say something. He's back there sleeping. What the fuck?
Masa not feeling well.
If you've been on the Discord, you would know.
Vaya pendejo.
Masa está enfermito, déjamelo.
Perdóname la vida. Oh, is that what you're saying right now? Oh, gotcha. All right, cool.
So here, let me bring something up that I just posted an hour ago on the prep file, so you guys might not have seen it. But Danger TRL on Discord posted up a video of an interview with Augie Williams, right? Who's my man? My man is Juan Rodas. I'm not familiar with the guy, but he had a pretty lengthy interview with Augie Williams. Things over an hour long, but there's a couple of things he said that were interesting. They asked him about his future, and he said he couldn't say much, but big news is coming. Right. Fast forward about half an hour, and then he starts talking about the offers. Apparently, he got a few offers on the table, and he said he couldn't really talk about it, but his agent was handling it and trying to figure it out. Right. He did say something about like living in Los Angeles and some shit like that. Here's the question: is there a shot? Is there a possibility where we miss out on Augie being in the first team?
Absolutely.
I think so.
It's the Galaxy.
Hey, don't say that.
Absolutely. But I'm not mad at it though.
I hear you.
We covered this last time. If they don't feel like he's ready for the first team, and he feels like he's too good for USL, then something has to happen. And it's
one side has to
money
give
off of him. We either make money off of him, or we're gonna offer him that first team contract, and he's gonna start scoring goals for us. Either way, it's a win-win for situation for both teams. Or I mean, for him and the G.
Hey, tinfoil hat though. He said living in LA.
Yep. Don't even mention that.
Yep.
I ain't trying to hear it.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say hater because I always want players in our club to succeed. If that's his big news, I want everyone that was writing that tip to delete your Twitter, delete your Instagram, delete everything. But I guarantee you they'll blame the Galaxy. But I'm not gonna speculate anything.
Yeah,
I want the news to come out.
I'm trying to hear that.
And if that news comes out,
I ain't trying to hear that.
Sunglasses Jorge might make an appearance.
Oh, listen, I'll join you in that. WWE Raw Rudy might come out for that one. Angel, you weren't here for when we had that discussion about Augie, but the discussion pretty much was around what do you do with Augie, right? He looks like he's too good for G2. Not sure if there's room for him in the Galaxy, and now we have this talk about like he got some offers. What's the best? How do you move here?
My opinion right now, I know we had talked about it actually in the chat, and I remember exactly where I said it, so I might be fucking full of shit, right, and say something completely different right now. But based on the right now, based on what we know, you're the Galaxy, you got to rush to sign him or give him the confirmation to the first team, because I'm with you guys. I like the dude a lot. I think he's shown a lot more promise than Zupac has ever given me, than McBean has ever given me, than Gordon ever gave me, than who's the other one that also was G2 way back in the day. These Lassiter, all these guys that were there, right? Yeah, I mentioned them. These guys, I was never excited for them. Like, they're scoring these goals there, but even when you go watch them, the G2s, there's nothing amazing about their game. It's everyone else really around them, or there's nothing that I'm like, damn, like I want this guy in our main squad ASAP. I want Augie Williams in our main squad ASAP. Even if he fucks up with us, let him fucks up with us. Let him learn. But I think he's a real deal. So if we lose him, I don't think it's a win. Like Masa, I don't agree that it's a win-win for everyone. No, I think it's a win for him, a loss for us.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, so I've been on the train saying like we gotta sell from the academy. We gotta sell from the second division team, right? Like, because not everybody's gonna make it up the pipeline. So like those who are not gonna make up the pipeline, who are probably MLS ready but not LA Galaxy ready, we gotta flip them, right? Like I've been in this. We talked about this for a long time, and I think we were talking about
the academy podcast, and I know we never got to it, but that's what I've always been saying. And we had this conversation. I think this is probably one of the origins to why we even started Straight from the Stands. Yeah, because we talked about the academies. How do we manage the academy? And listen, people, there's this notion, right, that because you have the academy, your 11 players are going to be from the academy. That's not entirely true. Just look at the best academies in the world right now, right? You look at Real Madrid, you look at Barcelona, you look at Bayern Munich. How many have actually stayed with their squad? Not many, right? Occasionally you'll have I guess like the dream team or the golden era, right? Where a good portion is coming.
But it's like 5 or 6, right? It's never a full team.
Right. Arsenal's having that right now. They're having, they have a decent period right now, right? Where they're doing this with these young players. But where have they been in the previous seasons? They haven't gotten anything. It's your golden eras, your little periods. So what do? Is this, you flip them. The guys that are not, listen, LA Galaxy, you should have a standard, right? It's not, hey, this guy is good from this. No, this guy is good for the Galaxy. That means our standard should be higher. We should be expecting more. right? Cool, he's scoring X amount of goals. How's he gonna look in our team? I don't want someone that's gonna be doing well in Columbus Crew. I want someone that's gonna fucking kill it in the Galaxy. And there's different standards to that shit, and that's where people don't understand. So, in my opinion, flip them. But certain guys like Augie Williams, you gotta sign. Those are the type of players where you take the risk.
Yeah,
right? And it's not just sign every forward because they're doing this or doing that. No, it's when you see that someone might have something, you take the risk.
And that's where I wanted to get at, right? Because I'm all about the flipping, but here's a player who really excites me, and I was looking to see a trajectory into the first team and possibly being the lead man up front, right? And now, and again, I don't know what you make of. I don't know what you make of that interview, and I'll link it in the pod notes. It's also on Discord channel if you guys want to check it out. Like, I don't know what to make of it because it was really a laid back interview, so it wasn't like he was putting pressure on the Galaxy because of that. It doesn't seem like it's a big channel or anything like that. So it's not. It doesn't feel like it's putting pressure on the G's, but at the same time, it's like this is a player I was excited about. And now we might potentially lose him, which sucks, right? Because that's what I want. At the same time, it's not what I want.
I don't know if Augie Williams takes up an international spot, but if he does, are you willing to give one up for him?
Yep.
He does take one up.
So, are you guys willing to give up an international spot for Augie?
We carried Didi on the international spot. I'm definitely down with taking with giving one to Augie. And I mean, if you just look at it for raw talent, like Didi was dope, but Augie is better, right? And in a position, you're always going to want somebody ready up next, right? As striker, you always want somebody who's hungry and ready up next, right? And I think Augie's that. Interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But again, I think it was unless we're flipping him for like a good amount, like it's going to suck to see him leave if he doesn't get that first team contract. My opinion.
What's the amount?
3-4 million. 3-4 million. Yeah, like if you do 5, that'd be great.
5.
Yeah, for me, it has to be in the millions for it to be like a plural. It can't be a million. It has to be a few million, right? Like, because I really think that and then if that's the case, then it kind of makes a little more sense because now that pays for a lot of the academy, right? A lot of the stuff that you've been doing for the academy just kind of pays it off one chunk. So that kind of makes sense, but still. The sentiment part of me is going to say, like, I don't want to see him leave. I want to get that first team contract and see what he can do with the first team. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks. All right, moving on. Let's do the Sun Cup. Preseason is back, baby. We got some dates for some teams. We got some dates for some matches. Actually, even prior to the Sun Cup, it seems like we were playing the San Diego Loyo on March 20th. I don't think that was behind closed doors, so we might not see any footage of that, or at least not any actual game time of that. Then we followed that up on March 27th, Saturday, March 27th, versus New England Revolution. And that was supposed to be aired on Spectrum Sportsnet. On March 31st, we played Revolution again at 7 p.m., and that was going to be streamed on LAGalaxy.com. And then we get into Sun Cup, which is Saturday, April 3rd against Sporting KC, 12 p.m., Wednesday, April 7th versus Colorado Rapids at 3 p.m. And then finally Sunday, April 10th versus Russell Lake at 5 p.m. Also streamed on LAGalaxy.com. I'm getting all this information for the streams and where they're getting televised from LAG Confidential. So check them out. They posted that and I just kind of stole that from them and read it in the chat and read it in the podcast. But you got some dates though, right? This is what I'm looking forward to, right? Because I know it's preseason and I know it doesn't make sense to think about the team in the long term based on preseason. But we got some players that we haven't seen play with the G's. Or we got Greg Vanny. Gonna be the first time on the sidelines for us. A new keeper, right? Whether that's Bond or Klinsmann, but it's like a new era of keeping for us. A lot of things happening, a lot of things that we're gonna be looking out for. What are you guys excited or interested in seeing of these preseason matches?
Nothing.
100%.
Really, nothing.
Not
nothing
a
at all.
goddamn.
Not at all. Listen.
No.
We traveled to the OC to see these players play. They were playing fucking beautiful soccer. We got into the season and it was trash. I could give a fuck less. I want what you're not going to give us points. You're not going to. We read too deep into it. Listen, this is just me. This is just me. I could give a fuck less about what we see in preseason because that does not get us any step closer to getting points. It doesn't get us 3 points on anything. Sure, you could hear you could hear the players communicating, but like I said, when we went to the OC, we saw good soccer. We saw beautiful soccer that was being played, and we got our hopes up.
They lost though.
No, yeah. So I don't think you're remembering that quite right because we took an L there, and it wasn't as beautiful as you remember it to be. I'll tell you that much for sure.
Listen, there was touching down the field. Everything looked good other than the outcome of it. But I could care less about this shit. Doesn't mean anything to me.
Masa, you got anything to say, or you're constrained there?
I just want to see Galaxy soccer again. That's the only thing.
I mean that.
Yep, I mean that results, and I mean maybe I'm excited to see the new signings play against higher level than what they're used to. See how they match up against MLS teams. But other than that, I mean, I can't look into it too crazy. It's just preseason. This shit don't matter.
That's
the only benefit of it is when you have a player like Villafania, right, who's new to the Galaxy, where you have let's say we do get the winger, let's say he ends up coming, we get him. It's understanding those guys' communication, how you can communicate with them on the field, right? It's one thing talking to him in practice, is another talking to him on the field. I guess that's the only positive. If Rudy, you want something, it's that, right? Villafania is going to know how to communicate with whoever his center back is, and that's going to be up in the air, right? Because we don't know if it's going to be Steres, people, or Steres and Williams, or people and Williams, or people and Steres. Who knows? Like it's a toss up right now. So. And we can say the same for the goalies, right? Like, hey, it's so we can see how Bond's going to do this. I think for the goalkeepers, might be a little bit better. For them, preseason gets better. It's more indicative. That's a little bit different in the way that keepers, preseason and prepare. But even that, right? What if it's Klinsmann and it's people and Steres, right now, but then to start the season is something else. No,
yeah.
But if you want some positivity, it's or something, for the podcast, it's hey, I want to see these guys communicate with each other. I want to hear the whatever they gotta do.
See, and well, first of all, I was way surprised by the unity of about the preseason, right? Because I'm hyped. So like, for some reason, I figured you guys would be too. I guess not. But for me though, like the reasons for it is we have a brand new coach, and a brand new coach is saying a lot of the right things for us, or at least a lot of things that I wanted to hear. Right, and I'm just being super fucking selfish here because he's saying things that I want to hear. There was a clip they posted the first day in practice, and where he was talking about the tempo of the passing, and then like further down in the clip, he was talking about the positioning of the players, and all this stuff is stuff that we called out last season with the team. So like, wanted to see some of that in action. Wanted to see if the players are responding to that immediately. Right, again. Wanted to see the players kind of in preseason. I want to see the players put it out in the field and actually fight for every single ball as we've been wanting them to. There's a lot of little things that I'm really interested in seeing. Then again, I don't really care about the result because they could have another Orange County where they play good and they look like shit. That's fine. Or at least per se, for Angels.
But there's another one. It can end up being Depew and Williams. That's a real possibility.
Yeah.
Right. So
and again, but even at that,
I'm excited.
But even at that, right? Even at that, I whatever the lineups are for the preseason, I don't think they carry too much weight for what the season looks like, unless it becomes like a thing where the same players are playing game in, game out in this preseason. But but it's really more about like how they look as a unit for me. Like that's what I'm really interested in, seeing how they move as a unit. How we have Grant Sir at that time. How is he looking out there, right? Because he's not a lot known about him. What could we expect from him? A bunch of little stuff like that. And to what Masa said, it's fucking LA Galaxy soccer, baby. You know what I mean? Like it feels.
I do have one that stands out because, and shout out to G-Man Galaxy, the Chicharito thing. How fit he is. That's massive because we've always seen his posts. His woman leaves him and he's in shape now, right? So I want to see him on the field. Not only do you have these massive horse-looking ass legs, now let me see if you're actually utilizing it on the field. So that's probably one that I actually been looking forward to. I hadn't even thought about that. I forgot about that. So shout out to G-Man for that one.
Yeah, and G-Man mentioned Jonah as well, which is another big thing, right? Because we need Jonah to be sharp as fuck this season. Mark, he's talking about bringing chips to the club. We need him to be sharp as fuck because when he's sharp, he could cut down any defense that he wants with his passing, right? So we want to be sharp. All that is interesting to see. Again, not results. Doesn't really matter who they're playing against, right? It's just really about like how the team is looking as a unit for me. My and again, it's fucking G's. Is G's G soccer, and that's what we want. All right, moving on. So Traore officially gone. Yeah, must have died. Must have not feeling well. Traore officially done. Apparently, mutual agreement left on, I think it was Friday, or at least that got announced on Friday that he was officially off the books, or Thursday, I may say. That puts an end to that, right? We talked about it a few weeks ago when we first heard that they, when he took everything off from the G's, from his Instagram accounts, from social media accounts, but now he's gone. Any remorse in that? Especially you, Angel, since you haven't been for a while?
Oh, go ahead.
No, not at all. You guys did it. I think George hit it. I think it was George who mentioned it in that pod. Listen, you were cut everywhere. Galaxy gave you the shot to leave like a little mark ass bitch. That's okay.
Oh yeah. Let's
Peace.
go. Yeah. I think we're all the same on the same boat there. It is what it is, right? Some talent there, but
Hey, Didi, if you're listening to this, dog, Sunday League, Thursday League, holla at your
We'll give you a shot too.
Cold-blooded as shit. All right. Yeah, I'll just mention it. I thought I was gonna have more to talk about this, but I don't. Did you guys see the Minecraft Dignity Health Sports Park recreation?
Dog. That shout out to Glenn went in. He put me on game with that shit. They created that stadium better than what our shit looks like. Not our shit, I'm sorry. But better than what we go to every weekend when we go to these games. That shit looked amazing. I was pissed off that someone that was on Minecraft made our shit look way better than what we have.
Well, first of all, I didn't realize, first of all, shout out to whoever created that, because that's a lot of work. You know what I mean? I've seen a time lapse, and it seemed like it's a lot of drawing in, and a lot of thinking of how he set it up. But it was really dope. I'm not gonna talk about it for too long. I just kind of want to bring it up. For all of you who haven't seen it, I'll post the link in the chat, and I'll post it on the show description so you guys can peep it. But it's really dope. It's I put it on double speed, so it didn't take as long. But it's a really dope creation of the I was gonna call it Home Depot Center, of the Dignity Health Sports Park, which I like. All right, I was kind of looking for something else to talk about before I went to this, but I don't. Actually, yeah, there's one more thing I want to talk about before we talk about the novela. You guys seen the news on Friday? The G's posted
news.
Wait,
no, not news, but not news. About the attendance to the stadium.
Let's talk about it.
So it's crazy because they announced that, and then shout out to the Discord community because they started talking about it. I don't know, was it one of you guys who brought it up, or was it within the community who brought that up?
Within the community.
Yeah, so shout out to you guys for bringing that up. We had a discussion about attending home games and how you're feeling about that, which is crazy because I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted and seeing.
Listen, you out of all people should be the most conflicted. Before you get into it, Germs and I had a 3-hour conversation about this shit on Friday night about how hard the position that you're in, and I'm glad I'm not that person that's making these calls. But keep going.
Yeah. So the news is that California is going to start opening up stadiums and parks and other shit pretty soon. Pretty soon means before the season starts. So therefore, it seems highly, highly possible that the season will start with fans in attendance. How many fans? Still don't know. Right? It seems like it's going to be a low attendance start and then ramp up as the state gets cleared for more shit. But is that question, right? Is that question about, do you guys want to rush in and go to home games? All right. I'll tell you this much, right? I know. I'm sorry, give me a second. I know for a fact, right now, the thought is not that you have to be vaccinated to go to games. That's not a prerequisite right now, right? That could change, but I know for a fact right now it's not. So, with that being said, how do you guys feel about home games?
All right. let me start with this. It's I don't want to get all medical and all this. That's not what this is about. But from what I've read, it's up until 2 weeks after your vaccination that you're clear to be okay. Still not 100%. I've read cases that people in between those 2 weeks still end up getting with this. That's all medical term. Personally, me, I've said on the Discord, and I said that it's going to be hard for me to be okay telling myself it's okay to go to the stadium, especially it's not just me anymore. I have 4 in my family, and sure, I'm pretty sure if I wanted to or if I needed to, if I got 4 tickets to go into the stadium, I could go in there. But 1, I'm putting my children at risk. 2, I might not be giving it the full atmosphere experience to what I'm used to what I wanted to be. I might be taking away tickets from someone who might be putting in that work that I can no longer possibly do. Do I feel fully safe about it? 100% no. But then, there's other people. I'm had to take into account of what everyone else has been doing with their lives. I've been in close-knit circles, like for example, when we reach out, and like even then it's still like fist bump, hey, how you doing? We have face mask on, and let's call it how it is. Whenever there's drinks and people, everything kind of goes out the window. Yep. It is what it is. I might get shit for it, but I've heard and read people complaining that people go up to the young ones, people go up to, so if you've complained about that, if that's been one of your complaints, then I don't understand, or I don't see why going to a game gets in front of that.
Yep.
And one more thing before I'm done. A lot of what I want to do and what you guys have done with your children is show them that experience, make them feel that love for this club that I have this club. And even then, even if I were to leave for a game and 3 of my families were left behind to watch the game on the TV, how much of that love am I passing it on to my children? Now I'm just being selfish and taking that all into myself. So to me, it's a hard pass. I don't want to go until it's fully safe, and it might be fully safe, and I might not feel safe. And even then, that's a discussion that I should have internally and with my partner. But other than that, like for me, the Galaxy is always going to be there.
Yeah, and it's one of those decisions that I think everybody has to take a look at their own situation and figure out what works best for them, right? I can't sit here and recommend one thing or the other, because that's, again, like my lifestyle or my life choices are my own, right? So I don't want to, say anything about that. And I'll say my piece in a minute. But Angel, Masa, what are you guys feeling about this?
I'll go first. I haven't stopped working since this shit started. Not that I don't care, but I feel like I need this. So I'm going to Tucson. I don't give a fuck. And I mean, I haven't stopped working, so to me, it's like this shit's there, and I'm around it. Like I can't avoid it. It's just a new normal to me now. So, I mean, just mask up and do what you got to do. If you feel like you don't want to go, you don't want to put yourself at risk, then that's a personal choice. I'm not trying to put myself at risk. I'm gonna, try to do the best I can to avoid, to keep my distance or whatever. But I mean, I'll be there because I feel like I need this shit.
That's fair.
Yep. Angel, what's your take?
I mean, George said a lot of good things, but I'm with Masa on this one. I am seeing it more as an opportunity to watch the game with the kids in a different way, right? Because obviously V-Block, I know we're going to be there, but it's not going to be the same. Everyone has to understand that it's not going to be your typical desmadre as it's been before. Right, so to me, I see it as an opportunity to, especially right now that Eli's, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he's just gotten even more into soccer. But it's good for me. Like if I go and I explain these things, it's a good time to be there in the live stadium and talk about what's actually happening. Right. Whereas if we're doing that in reg with without the whole COVID stuff, where we're doing it in the 2019, we're not doing that. We're chanting. We do what we do, right, for 90 plus. Right. It's different, and I don't know if we're gonna get the chance to do this again. In the future, right? Because everything goes back to normal. Obviously, the whole V-Box is going to be party, right? So it's perspective, on how you see it. I don't have issues with it. I mean, Lisa and I are both pretty good about all that stuff. If we were to go, we'll make sure that we are very precautious and stay the fuck away from me. I'm gonna do what Cartman did in South Park. We're gonna have a stick around my whole family, and a bubble just back the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. It's South Park as fuck. But and to George's thing, when it comes, I'm just my opinion, right? I imagine it's gonna start with season ticket members. If you're a season ticket member at this point, and I imagine it might be some type of seniority type of thing. I'm guessing it might be something like that.
Let me cut you off here just so I can read a little bit of that article, or at least what's pertaining to that. And the statement read, "This plan includes giving illegal season ticket members the first opportunity to return to attending our matches in person." So, what that means is you get if you're a season ticket holder, you get the first crack at, I guess, claiming, because it's not necessarily buying because you already have you already paid for it. Most of us already paid for it, or at least we're in deep in our payments already before they stopped it. So I'm assuming you get first right of refusal, I guess, for the tickets. So yeah, to that point, season tickets will get a chance first.
And I bring that up because if I imagine it's like Masa and myself that we understand, hey, this is our team. We love this team. We're not gonna do something to fuck it up for anyone else. I know I can't speak for everyone else, but the positive in that is that, damn, wrong time to use positive, right? But I guess the good thing in all that is because it's such a small group, let's say 5,000 people, right? It's easier to get security down on a small group of people that don't want to follow the protocols and kick them out. It's easy. Like right now, when you have that little bit of people are not bunched up, you can look at the camera so much easier. I just think it's I'm not saying that it's easy to do all that, the whole protocol and the whole nine, but I think it's more feasible, especially when you have less people to police a smaller group like that.
Yeah. So let me hop in here, right? When I started, I said I'm conflicted, right? Because as most of you guys know, I serve as president for ACB and part of the board. So we want to make sure that ACB still has the essence of ACB, even with the lesser amount of people coming in and like holding us responsible for the safety measures that are going to be put in place. But you want to hold the essence of ACB, right? Like you don't want ACB to be a section where people are just standing there, on their phones and not supporting. Because listen, ACB, and I can't talk for a full B block. I'm sure we have this meeting with B block and settle all this down once we get more information. But at least for ACB, our sections cannot be non-supporter sections. You know what I mean? Like I'm super prideful when it comes to that I want those sections to be there. But how do you do that? How do you do that and contain the hype, right? And contain the hype because of that, right? Like, listen, George said it too. Like, you guys can get offended if you want, but especially my guys, like the guys I know who get wild when we get drunk, right? Like, we can't necessarily do that because last year I talked about it a lot. Like, we didn't do a lot of things because I wanted to make sure that ACB as a whole was safe. That we weren't putting ACB members out in risk for some shit like this, right? But now we're going to get entrance to the stadium. So how do we do this? How do we have the section still crack and keep it safe? That's really where I'm kind of in a turmoil because we're not sure necessarily how to move there. But we were talking about it.
Devil's advocate to that. How do you pick and choose who goes into ACB? How do you pick and choose who does this? It puts you in a hard position. And I feel for you. Listen, I'm here. This is the first time you and I talk about it. I feel for that, and it's a hard place to be in, especially when in the past we've seen MLS Cup tickets in ACB go for 3 times as much of what they are. You get me? So there's just a lot of things that you have to deal with that I feel for you, and it's hard. It's really, really hard.
I don't. Quería ser presidente.
Yeah, no, but with that being said, hey, let's use this platform. If you guys are going to be going to these games, be safe. Think about people that aren't going to the games because they can't go to the games. Think about the people that you live with. Think about lots of things that has to go through your head. Think about people being safe. There's some people that have been doing it right this whole time that in a blink of an eye that shit could change. So if you are going to the games, all love. I love the fact that there's going to be fan presence. I love that shit. That shit's going to be amazing. But the point of this is to act right for then in the near future, in the very, very near future. Hopefully we do this shit right. we don't have to talk about this shit anymore. We could have a full stadium and we could go back to what we've to some sort of normality.
Yeah, listen.
If it's by season ticket members, if you're ACB and you're a season ticket member, I think you know better. You know better. You understand what's going on. Right? I like to think that, at least, right? I like to think that way now. If you're ACB, there's no reason why you're not following directions, why you're not going to be, telling whatever the protocols are, why are you not following them? And I think we do pretty good about policing our section, right? So if we see if someone's not doing what they have to, we don't. It wouldn't be the first time someone's getting kicked out of section. Shit, I've been kicked out of section before. So,
listen, let me even broaden up that scope, right? A common term on socials is LA Galaxy fam, right? That's a common term on socials, and we all use it loosely. But when we get back in the stadium, we really got to take that seriously. You know what I mean? Like, we got to make sure we're looking out for each other and not exposing ourselves or doing stuff that could expose us to get ill or get one of our bloodline families members ill or loved ones ill. So we just gotta be careful with that. We don't have a lot of details. We have a meeting scheduled with FO to kind of talk about this in more detail. We've been talking with them like pretty closely a lot to try to figure out what's gonna happen. But I think now with that statement coming out last week, they probably have more details for us. So as soon as I can share more, I will share more. And let me just answer Ant.
I want to sit with you.
Let me just answer a friend of the pod's questions. Is any word on ticket prices yet? Will leadership push back if ticket prices are significantly higher than they have been in previous seasons? Yes, for sure, right? I understand that they have business and they have to run a business, but we pay the prices that we pay, right? And every time there's been an increase in that, like, they have to justify it. And if they don't justify it, then we'll definitely push back. But again, we don't know what that looks like yet. We haven't heard of any price increase. What we have, what we're really contemplating is the resale on these tickets, because that's going to be fucked. All right, but we got to figure that out. Man of Serrano, how many season ticket members? I'll get an updated number. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I can get an updated number. But yeah, man, it's a tricky situation because I want to be there.
Like 5,000 to 7,000 a year.
Yeah,
7,000 season members a year.
No, but I think he's asking for B block and ACB in general. But again, I'll get you the number. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I could get the number. But that's the thing, though, right? Like there is going to be people. How do we handle it? Who gets tickets? How do we behave inside? How do you know where you're standing, sitting? All that. Those are still questions in there. It's just an interesting time. And again, we'll give you more updates as they come. This wasn't supposed to be like an update thing. I was just kind of want to talk about how everybody's feeling about coming back to the stadium. Just interesting, man. It's gonna be crazy because I like you, George. I kind of do one of these to everybody. You know what I mean? I don't even really dab them. I kind of give them like a forearm check. You know what I mean? Like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. All right, let's wrap this up with the one thing I'm kind of tired of talking about, but big news came out today with the Pavon Novela. So I'm not sure how it works in Argentina 100%, and I try to read through Johnny Rojas' Twitter, right? Because let me start off there, right? If we're gonna read somewhere, I think Johnny Rojas has a track record for putting out shit that actually is legit, and he has like good resources to put it out there. So let's start off there. So apparently today is officially not charged, or charged. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, so it's today is a point where like the court system in Argentina said, okay, we're taking this case and here's a date you have to present yourself for. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's official now, which is weird because I don't get it. Like, why wouldn't they do that before? So the way I took it, I'm wrong. Listen, I think I'm wrong. So don't quote me on this, but I think they there's enough there to actually present a case, right? To bring a case. That's how I took it. Again, don't ask me here or there. And a bunch of this shit, again, I'll post the link to a thread on Johnny Rojas' Twitter. But the one thing that really caught my attention was the last thing he posted, and that's what Pavon's lawyer said after he posted all that, right? Pavon's lawyer said, what was announced today is technically what we needed in order to be able to exercise properly his rights of defense. With respect for the constitutional guarantees, as well as to contest the accusations against him and offer all the proof of defense. Mr. Pavon remains very confident that he will be clear and declare his innocence once all of the proof is incorporated. There has been no other measure against him than those already known, and his freedom of movement has been ratified. So that means he can move around without having his permission. Man, I gotta say, because of like the way it was worded, and then the way Google translate the wording of that, I'm ready to go. Like I'm listen. I hadn't said this before, but I'm ready to move. Like this is messy. That's my opinion. But go ahead, boys. Take it away.
This is going back to the original things, and I think the translations are off. Masa and I were talking about this prior to anyone getting on, but the translations of the wording on their end, even in the past, on the original translations of him being charged, him being not charged, him being even bought by the Galaxy, it was one of those things where the translation made it seem like we bought him so he could be able to fly out. Like you said, the Google translations are very, very hard. It's very messy. I thread lightly on any accusation because obviously all four of us take that very serious, and I hope the Galaxy are taking it as serious as we are, where we don't even want to talk about it. There might be something that they know that we don't know. There might be something that the lawyer, it's just a lot. But from the stance of, it's hard. I don't understand it because you could say sign the player and then he gets locked up because he really did do it, or it's crazy. It's a lot. I read speculations. I went down a rabbit hole, and I'll say very lightly here. There's people saying that it's coming within Argentina because they don't want him to go anywhere. Like it's gotten to that point where conspiracy theory, tinfoil hats, it's just
yeah.
But to go back to the original thing, Google Translate is hard. A lot of people take Google Translate and say, "Oh, it's working in my favor, so let me say it," or someone say it's Google Translate, it's not working against my favor. This is what they mean, but it's a very long story short, it's a very, very messy situation that I hope gets cleared up, but I don't know.
Go ahead, Angel. You haven't been on here. We haven't talked about this. So say your piece.
I think George said something to me that stood out. It's they, as in the Galaxy or Pavon's lawyers or Galaxy's lawyers. I imagine Galaxy's lawyers are probably involved. AG's lawyers are probably involved to some degree now, right? They have to know something that we don't know publicly, or something that they're saving in their back pocket that they for sure know he's innocent. Right? Otherwise, why are you still in this mess? Why are you, like you said, it's messy. Rudy, it's messy. Yeah. Why are you still in this situation? Listen, I'm all for Pavon, right? I love Pavon. I've been happy as fuck since the moment we got him, backed him up for everything. But at this point, unless the Galaxy absolutely know, and it's something that we don't know, obviously, that he is innocent. Absolutely innocent. They're just letting this whole thing play out to give the justice system its fair process. Why are we still in this situation? That's a DP slot that we can be looking for someone else to replace. That's a DP slot. I know it's easy to say, hey, well, we can get whoever the fuck we want. That's not entirely true because there's still a recruiting aspect to the DP slot. You have to find the person that fits the profile. You find the person that fits the profile. Okay, now you have to see what it's like to bring that person here. I mean, it's like people say, oh, well, let's go get Cristiano Ronaldo with that. Well, hypothetically speaking, let's say it is Cristiano Ronaldo. Have we courted him already? Has Chris Klein had multiple meetings with him, except for that one dinner that he had with him one time? Has that kept going? Is he interested in LA? What's his price tag? It's just so much. So the fact that Galaxy is so invested in Pavon, to me, I generally feel that they have to know something. Not just obviously the Galaxy, but everyone from the legal perspective has to generally, like 99.9999% really believe that Pavon is innocent, because otherwise, why are you still in this? I don't get it. That's why I've just been calm about the whole thing, just letting it play out. In the day, like George said, if he is guilty, then listen, my man, you don't belong here. Right.
Here's the funny part, right? Because I'm usually the more optimistic about situation that things gonna work out. Here, though, I really and not that I know anything, right? And because I really don't know anything. But it feels like no. Listen, I know a lot of things, but not about this situation. I just feel like they're just hoping it goes away. I think the Galaxy are investing in him, and they wanted to go away because you're right. Because if it doesn't work out for him, then I don't think they have somebody in their back pocket to say, okay, he's a DP replacement for Pavon. Right, and you're right. It's not something like they can call. Hey, ACR, come play with us. Come play with us this season. All right, good. All right, cool. See you here in a couple weeks. It's not that, right? It's the whole thing. Is the courtship is the negotiation with the club and all that. So like, it's not something they could. Let's get a new DP or another DP, right? Like I think you're right there, but I honestly I don't necessarily believe that the Galaxy know more, and that's what they're waiting for. I think they're just banking on hopefully this clear it up. And which listen to me,
in my case, I mean, because he can absolutely lose, right? If this is a real thing, and then we're fucked. Mm-hmm. Right, we're at this point we're a month away from season 6. Mm-hmm. Just a little over a month. You tell me that in a month period, and let's just say it goes on for 2 additional weeks. You have, let's say, 4 weeks or 3 weeks from Pavon is guilty. Now I have 3 weeks to find a DP to replace this guy. Now the bright side, I know that they can go a little bit later into the season. Like I think within the first 3-4 weeks, you can still bring players the season, but that's not what you want. You want to do that now. You want to bring you want to bring him in now. You want to do that. Right, at least that's my opinion. Because I don't want no mid-season acquisition. Like I get that we did it with Keane, but look at the guys that we had at the time, right? Donovan and Beckham, and they were already a contending team, right? So that's the difference.
Yeah, I hear you.
But we are already a contender. Right now, we are not a contender with what we have. No.
Listen, and I agree. Like, and to like G-Man's point too, right? Like Pavon is a jewel, you know what I mean? Like somebody based on his skill alone, I would love. But this situation, like, it's not a good look for us to be attached to it. And the thing that it's getting prolonged and it's getting like what it seems to me at least, right, more serious. Like, why even be involved at this point? You know what I mean? Like, I understand everything he does in the field, but like, last season they were, whether they were forced or that's where they stand. They made a stand for the right way with Kai. Ty, right? Ty, not Kai. Ty. Like in my opinion, they made the right stand at that point, right? So follow that along with that, and like this situation is messy and it's getting messier. Like, time to move on with that. It says 100% time to move on. That's where I stand with it. And again, it might not be as easy as that, right? Because I think you might be right. Like, I think if we do move on from Pavon, it probably won't be an off-season position. It's going to be something in the summer. That's just the way I see it. Masi, you have anything to top that off with?
It's a weird situation, but I'm with Angel on this. That they have to know something, or they have to be sure that the man is innocent. Because if they weren't, I think at that moment they don't even make that offer that they made a couple of weeks ago. They have to know something, because there's no way you take a big L like that for $10 million and you sign this man, or you make that offer and then they accept it or whatever, and then you lose out on that because then you have to terminate that contract. I don't think
you're right.
I don't think you just throw that much money and not have a plan, or not know that.
AG, they're not gonna just send their money. They're not gonna just here's this check without being sure of something. It's A fucking G.
Can you imagine the headlines? AEG paying sexually assaulter. It's they're in this. Listen, before they even owned the Galaxy, they were AEG. They have lawyers in place there, but I'm not here backing it up. I think all of us could say that I hope that they know something that we don't know, so we end up looking good, because we don't want to look bad in this situation. And it's steering towards a direction where it's not looking good. So hopefully they have something in their back pocket to where they know everything's going to be okay. But if not, we said it. We dropped Kai for something that was something that he didn't even directly do. He didn't directly do it, but and I hope they hold a DP player to that same standing, to the same.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
they hold everyone in the front office. Fuck a DP player. Anyone that a merchant that's selling the things, you hold them to the same standard. And this is one of those things that it could go from the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder. Everyone's held to the same standard.
Yep, I agree. And again, I know we had to talk about it because it did happen, right? And this is what we do. But man, this is one of the things I just like. I want to either move on or have this should be over because this is dumb. Like I want to talk about Pavon being dope in the field, not about like this. You know, but yeah, it's right. But all right, let's end on a better note. George, you guys have questions for us?
Yep. But with that being said, I like the fact that we do talk about this and we're not biased towards anything. We're not trying to throw around our narrative or anything. So
yeah, no.
That's what this is about.
Listen, you said it best. Like I don't take this lightly at all. You know what I mean? I don't take this lightly at all. So no. Yeah. All right.
Questions. Last season, the Galaxy made signing announcements, but sometimes players weren't available to play. For example, Yoni was announced but didn't arrive to the U.S. until much later. The Galaxy announced Javier, but he still had visa problems, so we could assume he wasn't cleared, which is why one of the preseason friendlies was a close match. How do you like? So that was a big build up to this. How do you like the new approach with the signings that the Galaxy might be taking? They stayed radio silent, keeping everyone guessing, and we're assuming that when the player is ready to arrive, they announce it. It reminds me of what the Clippers did when they surprised everyone with both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Fuck the Clippers. Even without a leak, do you think the Galaxy are changing the way they sign announced players or just coincidence? If we do anything that the Clippers are doing, I don't want to be a part of anything that they do.
Man,
start there.
Y'all really not listening to the show because I told you guys, and I think Ann was here in the show when we went to the conversation. Vanny straight up told us there's names behind every position he needs. Like they know who they're going after. It's not like they're just like, let's see who's available. They know who they want to go after, right? So like, and they said that they've been keeping them out the media because they're not sure how quick they could get him in because of the whole COVID thing, right? So there's reason behind it. So and because some of these things are like when they get announced or when we start hearing about it, they move pretty fast. I'm starting to believe them, right? And I know we were a little skeptical when we talked about it on the pod that week, but now that I start seeing like Derrick Williams, like we heard about him one week and then he was signed by the time we came back on air, right? Grant Sir, like we talked about him likely last week because they had just popped off, and now there's reports everywhere saying that it's pretty much a done deal. Like the Vanny, DTK, perhaps Klein. They're figuring this shit out. Like in business, they at least so far they've been doing it right. Anybody else? No.
Yeah.
No, bro, you got it. What the fuck else you wanted to say?
No, that's fine.
All right. Next question. I've had mixed feelings about the Galaxy this offseason. Is it easy for me to get impatient when things like signings and see how the roster shapes up? Given that this is the offseason and the fact that COVID has amplified feeling bored, I am going to wait to reserve judgment on how they handle the roster constructions until our actual lineup on opening day. I would prefer that we fill out the roster more definitively and more quickly than we have up to this point. But then again, there's a reason that Dennis is the general manager and I am not. We will see.
Start there.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah, go for it.
We're still in preseason, right? We're a month away, over a month away. I think it just feels like it's already here because usually in March, we're already in the season. This past weekend would have even been our first or second game of the regular season.
How do you remember that?
We just feel like, huh?
Hey, remind Masa how you remember the beginning of the opening.
Yeah, how do you remember the opening weekend of MLS? Because your birthday. Come on. I leave it, dog. I set you up for the dunk, dog.
No. But listen, hello, that's what I'm hearing. But on the real, it's that's how I know, right? It's always my birthday weekend. But that, right? We in general, like usually we're having these conversations. We're having them in February about who's coming, the rumors, all that stuff. I think this year you guys took like a hiatus in January and late February, right? It's not what we're accustomed to. So I understand why there's panic, right? I understand why people are panic. Like, where are these signings? I get it, but you also have to remember that our season is starting a month and a half later than it usually does, right? So right now we still have time to bring players in. Of course, if we're up to me, I would love to have everyone. I would love to sign everyone the same fucking day, all at once. They're all here. Boom, they have a whole month and a half to train. But that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Think about 2 seasons ago when we got people, right? People was supposed to come in and be Polenta's partner. What happened? Steres had a good start to the season, and because people wasn't acquired until I think they finally went through over the line like 2-3 with 2-3 games already. What happened? People had to ride the bench the majority of the season because Steres was able to solidify his spot.
Mm-hmm.
That can happen again now, right? It's understanding like it's preseason. You still have a month and a half before the games actually kick off, right? So everyone chill the fuck out. Like Rudy said, he already Greg Vanney has targets, actual names to each position. So it's gonna happen. So everyone chill the fuck out. We still have a month and a half. We'll be fine.
And to somebody's comment, and I was trying to look who said it. Like this window doesn't close until June, right? So like even I thought it opened this month. I thought it opened like the 3rd or something, but I might be wrong. Okay, so it's not even open yet. See, like that's the thing. That's the thing. Like to Angel's point, like it just feels like a lot later on the game because of when the season's starting. At the same time, though, like look at who they brought in right now, or who's been coming in. Right, you got we got a replacement left back with Villafaña. That happened early. We got Fisher O'Neill, right? I think that's the name. I might be getting it wrong. Who's the backup to Julian already? Now we have Derrick Williams who came in a center back. He's going to be competing for a spot. We got Bond, who's we all know we needed a keeper. So now we got Bond and Klinsmann. They're like it's starting to it's starting to form. It's starting to shape up, and it's starting to shape up with pieces that I think are being brought in intelligently and not stopgap, not that Band-Aid signing.
Rudy, this is you. This is your thing. I think last season when we talked about what the Galaxy needs, I think you're the one that, or it might have been George. So one of you two. I know for sure Masa and I were more on having our camp first. But one of you two said we got to build the back, right? Because defense wins championships. Of course, I've always been in that boat. I just need some creativity at top right now. I just need somebody to make me excited, right? Which is why, as of right now, I've been. Just give me a camp first and give me everything else. I think everything else, because we have pieces that can fit, right? Even though it's makeshift, not what I want, but we can still make it work. Whereas a camp, we don't have that at all, right? But that's what Greg Vanney is doing. Look at it. We sure, Grand Sir is supposed to be coming, but it's not confirmed. Look at what's been confirmed so far. The backbone, the back line. Right? It's confirmed. We have our CB. Remember, he said that potentially 2. 1 for sure, maybe 2. So we might still see another coming, right? Villafaña, the backup for Araujo, and now our keeper. So he's doing it the right way. Start from the back and build forward. So it's the thing is that people want the shiny objects, the tinies. And I get it. But defense wins championships, not just in football. It also is the same thing in soccer. Defense wins championships.
Listen,
so I think we're doing
if this season we go out with a team who has less stars, right? Given that we're gonna have Jonah for sure, and we have Chicharito, so it's kind of hard to say less stars. But let's say we don't bring out like big names for the other spots that I have open right now, but we have a better performing team, and we set up a foundation for years to come. I'm 100% okay with that. Like I prefer that route. You know what I mean? Like I prefer that route over signing top players who you have to like mold the whole team around and shape it every fucking year. Like I'm good with this tactic. I'm good with the way they're planning right now. I understand why you're impatient because we want to see it. We want to be excited about something, but I think we should be excited about the process. You know what I mean? Trust the process at this point, right? Legit with that one more time.
I wish you didn't say that shit.
All right.
Next question, because you guys killed it. There was an article that labeled FC Dallas as a selling team. They have sold very successful players to teams in Europe, such as McKinney, Brian Reynolds, and Reggie Cannon. Analysts question whether or not FC Dallas can be an MLS Cup competing team and a selling team. What are your thoughts? Also, some Galaxy fans wish the academy produced more players to sell as well. Would you prefer the Galaxy become known as a selling team as well?
Anybody else want to take it? Because I could run this forever. So,
well, this talks about the academy. This talks about the academy thing that we've kind of addressed, but I don't think you could be either or. Either you want to be a competing team this is my position on it. You could be a competing team in the MLS, or you could be a selling team that's known to produce players and then sell to Europe. Selling players to Europe doesn't put a star on your badge. I'm sorry to say that. And you could get mad about it, but if you have the talent, now there's a gray space in between. Now, who's the players that you keep onto your first team and who's the players that you sell. And I think we're
Mhm.
still trying to play with that fine line. And granted, we can't be good at either. Sure, we haven't been great on the first team for quite some time. And our academy has been okay, but I'd rather be on the side that puts stars on badges. And if that's not what you're here for, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm gonna back you up and say this, right? Like, FC Dallas, like they're a hotbed too, right? So like they should be selling players, but them, unlike us, like they don't have the power to kind of pull anybody they want, or at least most people they want. Like LA Galaxy could do that, right? So I think that's the big difference. But at the same time, I think we should be mimicking some of their moves, though, right?
100%.
Because Southern California is a fucking hotspot for talent. Like, and that's known. Like, anybody knows that Southern California brings out a lot of good soccer players. So we should be flipping a lot more. And I think to go against you a little bit, I think we should be doing both. And I think we should be doing both like really well because of the organization that we are, in my opinion. Masa, Angel, you got anything else?
I'm with George on this one. I don't think we could be both. I think once you become a selling club, there's no way you can hold on to your players for a year or two. I do believe that what you said too, the type of players we bring in, but I honestly in MLS, I don't think you could do both. In like other leagues, like the Portuguese league or in the Netherlands, where the big teams dominate and they produce and they just keep producing because the other teams are not on par. In this league where all teams are under the same rules and there's parity, like there's no way you can do that.
Interesting.
Like,
yeah, I can see that.
I mean, the closest team was the Philadelphia Union, and when it came to playoffs, they choked.
Shit the bed.
And then guess what? They sold their best defender. They sold Aronson, and that's it. They got to start from scratch again, and they're probably not going to be as good as they were last year. And they didn't win a cup. So, I mean, that's how far it's going to get you in MLS.
Interesting thing. There's a lot of good topics there. There's a lot of good points there. Angel, you want to close it up?
G-Man Galaxy. Hold on. G-Man Galaxy. LA produces the best players in basketball. I'm sorry. We had Westbrook. We've had Kevin Love.
Baron
Davis. Tupac. He came from Brooklyn. But nah, LA produces the best players.
All right, back on topic.
Paul George? Yeah. All right. Next question.
No, Angel.
Cool, dog. Can Angel get his 2 cents?
I mean,
I know what he was gonna say. I knew what he was gonna say. You guys are all spot on. I fuck with George says because he's the smartest one of the three. He gets it. All right. So say what you were gonna say.
I mean, I should say, yeah, sure, I guess. And we need to have the conversation. Academy. That's when we can talk about it in depth.
Yeah,
we have to have a pod.
That academy pod's gonna be a 3-hour pod. And I guarantee you, there's going to be yelling back and forth. It's going to be good, but one day, yeah.
One day, it's been 4 seasons. We still haven't been able to get that one done, so we'll figure that one out.
Hey, but we've brought some fire content in 4 seasons. So with that being said, okay. All right. Glenn with one end says, we're not making any moves for a couple of days. The community kit was a hit. If you had your way, what other kit from the past do you bring to the future?
Interesting. I listen. Interesting because
you can't say the first one because they already remade the first
one. But they did so well with this kid. Like I don't even know if I want them to kind of touch anything else anymore. You know what I mean? Like don't ruin it for me. You know what I mean? This is really good. Give me another 10 years before you give me another one. You know what I mean? Like
you know what I want is not a touch from the past, but I want a white with a yellow and a green.
Yeah. No talking about like. I know what you're talking about. What year was that? We had one that had white, yellow, and green, right? Like with
it would be away. Pescadito was here. It was away with
the
slash here. Yeah, do one of those. I think it was Nike. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was Nike.
Yeah,
I think it was like 05. Yeah. I don't remember. 05, 06, some shit.
I think one thing I would want to see, and it's not even that. Give me blue shorts and a white top.
That shit usually happens like in preseason or in practice.
Yeah, it looks fucking dope, man.
Hey, but the short they brought out this year for the community kit,
the whole kit is dope. But can we talk about like the blue training tops?
Sheesh. Sheesh.
Yo, let me get
Those
access
blue
to everything and take
tank
all my money. Yeah, yeah,
Those blue
man.
tank tops are it.
What is that shit? Quad pay? Quad pay? Like I need quad pay so I can just buy everything they put on sale, dog. Because like, man, like this year they're on point. Like a lot of the gear is really on point. And I'm really liking a lot of that shit. We didn't answer your question because we ain't shit. But next question.
All right, next question. With fans possibly back at DHSP next month and stadiums open around the league to follow, has leadership been advised of any possible away trips?
Yeah. It's all in the air, man. It's all in the air. I know. So Jesse's taking over the away trips, and he's
Hell
been.
yeah.
Listen, for what it's worth, like my
No,
guy.
no. Listen, no, hold on. I'm not discrediting him from anything. I just laugh because
it's gonna be a party.
It's not taking away. It's not taking away from anything that he could do for the Galaxy.
So Jesse's been on top of it, but it's so much unknown right now, right? That we're not sure necessarily how that works. Like we're trying to figure out what's up with Tucson, right? Because I'm sure people are gonna want to go out there on April 10th. We're trying to figure that out, but right now, like it seems like nothing is. Yeah. Like there's not gonna be a lot of availability. It seems like all the away trips are gonna do the same thing we're doing, which is like limit capacity, and their tickets are probably gonna go to their own fans, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not towards. Probably not gonna be a good year for travel until like the latter part of the season when things opens up.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Texas and Florida.
Yeah. Antonio Menderes said it. Antonio Menderes in the chat said away trips to Texas and Florida. Yeah, that seems that's probably gonna be it. But yeah, as always, you know we'll keep you on updated with all that shit because we're big proponents of the weight travel, especially if Angel's here. You know he's gonna talk about weight travel, so we'll keep you on the loop.
And we're on the FC Dallas tip. They love to sell to our fans. They sell Zlatan jerseys at their stadium. So
that's right.
So if you guys want an away trip, I'm sure FC Dallas will sell us tickets before they sell their fans tickets.
I'm down with FC Dallas though. And Pro Golf.
Galaxy fan talk is a good question. Tech green kits at home or strictly on road only? Listen. Shout out to Glenn with one N because I know he's very big of white out the section. But my man,
I've been talking about this, y'all. I even talked to CT about this because I'm like, what the fuck, right? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the fact that everybody hopped on the jersey, but that just means a lot more people are not gonna be wearing white in the stands, bro. Well,
then just Green Day, bro. Tech Green Day. Today is Tech Green.
Yeah, well,
obviously, rock your 97.
Obviously, we have to do something with that because that would be uniform that way. But yeah, there's no way that hype dies down. So I assume they'll play with it at home a few games. I mean, we played Navy at home a few games, right?
Yeah, we've used it before.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Last question. There's a rumor that the first 3 MLS games of the season may determine the 8 MLS teams that qualify for U.S. Open Cup in 2021. Not all teams will qualify this year. Should the LA Galaxy make the U.S. Open Cup a priority?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I agree as well. And I'm the first one to come on here to bash that tournament too.
Why? Tell me why. I know the answer, but tell me why you guys are prioritizing Open Cup.
Why
somebody?
Because I want to beat Tigres, bro.
Why prioritize U.S. Open Cup? Because we should compete for every tournament we play. We're the LA Galaxy. We have to win everything.
That's it. And I think if we're talking about, because we've been on here on the pod saying that MLS Cup the first year might sound a little far-fetched, even though I always want to compete. If that's far-fetched, then let's win something this year. Let's show that the team that we're building is able to compete on levels that we might have not been able to compete in the past. And that's another ticket to another competition that we want to be in as well. So I'm for it. Listen, if you don't give me an MLS Cup and we win US Open Cup, I'm not going to say they level out, but the team's competing. The team is there. So I'm all for it.
I'll tell you why I want them to prioritize it, because it's the fucking fastest way to CCL.
That was my ticket to the thing. And nothing turns me on more than putting I always laugh because shout out to Mingo. He always clowns on this tifo that we had mine on Japan or something like that.
Yeah. Harden stance, mine in Japan. Yeah, that didn't happen. But listen, I need that back, bro. You know we always talk about like CCL, how we want CCL. So yes, win the first 3 games, get your ticket to Open Cup, win the Open Cup, and let's go CCL, baby. Listen, you guys want to talk about travel? Let's travel international, and that's like the most fun ever. So, it's a story for a different time. But I hope they get into the Open Cup. I hope they get into Open Cup. I hope they win it so we can get CCL. George,
one more question.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah, I didn't scroll all the way down. Underscore. Lucifer says, with the way things are going from a structural standpoint, do you see the VSP getting some upgrades in the near future in order to keep up with the modern stadium coming up? VSP being Victoria Street Park. Will Angel be making more appearances? Bald is beautiful and he represents us. Maybe not, but representation nonetheless. Listen, if Bald was beautiful, my man would not have a hat on. I called him Romo in the first minute of this pod and he'd put on a hat. So no.
My 5 o'clock shadow. That's why. Remember, that's why I put on the hat.
I'm be on the unpopular opinion, but I don't think our stadium looks dated. I don't even think it falls behind too many in the league.
Wait, excuse me?
I don't feel like our stadium is dated.
Oh, shit.
I don't think so.
Listen, that's a very unpopular opinion, especially in this pod.
Yeah, last year they had plans to revamp a bunch of things, especially because the Charger money and the XFL money had come in, so they had a bunch of plans. I don't know if they're going through with those plans anymore, right? They also took a hit, so I don't know if they're going through. But they had talks about like having more. I think it was more TVs or more displays around the stadium. I know they were trying to do some like artwork and different. What do you call it? I mean, like the B block thing they wanted to do. What is that? Like a.
You know how there's right behind B block. You know, you have the wall and the grass burr. They want to do something there. Remember, like it wasn't like they didn't know exactly what they were going to do.
So the one is not like a statue, but it's one of those like metal. Like it'll be like the metal Victoria block, like on against that wall, which seemed cool. Like they had a bunch of little things, but again, I haven't heard of any of them coming back around, and I'm not really sure they will. COVID, you know, took an impact on the money wars.
The stadium plans that they were doing, adding it was like DAP stuff. Remember we saw the renditions of this a while back. They were gonna revamp the fuck out of it, and it was really dope. The thing that I was most hyped for though was for the bleachers. They were gonna change all the green bleachers to the entire stadium was gonna be blue, like the blue everything. You know, the way that they've done most of the sections. So no more green ugly ass bleachers. They were gonna spend the money and make that shit badass and make it blue like the galaxy.
Fuck that. That's just tech green seats.
They see something they're gonna market it. But Tyler Daniels, there you go. Like that was definitely in the plans. I don't know if any of the updates they're gonna do. I think that might be still in the books because it seems like it's part of the cheaper one out of all the touches they had. So we might see that. But you know what? Like data or not, like I love that stadium. I have so many memories in that stadium that. I just love that stadium. Though.
Listen,
I love this stadium.
We say it's dated because we've traveled to plenty of stadiums and we've seen newer stadiums come about. But it is what it is. The stadium doesn't have to change for 20 years, and I'll still go to it.
Yeah,
with love.
Listen, they already took the hazards of the bleachers away, so we don't have any more broken bleachers. And I think that's all I needed. You know what I mean? Like it got stamps now, so like I'm fine. I'm good. I
On a rainy day, those poles though. Oof.
Yo, don't be standing on the poles. Like if you slip and you're standing on the poles, that's on you because you dumbass. Shut up. I was gonna call you out. Anything else?
That was it.
Dope. Some ACB news. Hey, you guys haven't heard? We found the fucking hats. Hats, LA Kings hats. We found the fucking hats. We have the hats in our possession now. They're with a board member right now, so no more losing them. And if we lose them, then I know exactly who lost them.
Rudy, can I put on the hat that you gave me last week?
I ain't give you no fucking hat because I haven't seen him yet. So fuck off.
All right.
I haven't seen
I'm
it
not
yet.
gonna put it on there. Listen, all right, I'm not
talk to
cleared
me.
yet. I'm not
Don't
cleared
talk
yet.
to me. I haven't seen it. So don't talk to me. But we do have the hats. We are working on a way to get the hats to you guys because I don't want them. I don't want to see them anymore. I don't want to hear about the hats anymore. So we're trying to figure out a way how to get them out of our hands and into your hands. So that's coming up. We do have a happy hour coming up this month. We'll get you more information about that. And the demand was there. We're gonna get patches. We got 2 patches coming out. One with 5 stars, one without stars for your tech green jerseys. So that's
I saw it. In
excited. Yeah, you did it. They look good. I haven't seen it in person.
It looks real good.
Yeah.
What you say,
I
Angel?
don't know if I want the 5 stars or not. I haven't decided either. It's just, but it's sick. It's dope.
Yeah. And listen, you guys asked for it without stars, so we're giving you with stars and without stars. You guys decide what you want to do. They'll be up in the store pretty soon, and we'll let you guys know when that's happening. And then just stay tuned. Stay tuned to our Twitter ACB handles for information coming out about seats or about tickets for games and anything else about that. We'll try to feed the information as soon as we get it and relay it back to you guys. Stay tuned to this pod because I'm always talking about it here. You can get the information here. But with that being said, actually, before I go out, one more time, happy birthday, Angel. Thanks for joining us. I hope you make this a regular occurrence. I appreciate it. It was fun.
I want to thank George for the invite.
Appreciate you. But don't come back. I fucked up.
Masita, hope you take your Theraflu and anything you need to see be more live next week.
To be over, dog.
I can tell.
Take a shower right now and pop some pills and go to sleep. And
hell yeah, fucking druggy.
If not,
ass food.
Then GG's, boys.
Hey, hold on. If it's GG's, make this peace, love, and G's up the best one you've ever done. But not yet though.
No, I can't.
I need one favor though. I need somebody to clip. Somebody to grab a massa falling asleep over and over again on the pod tonight. I need that as a gift. So somebody do that for me. I need that. I hope you feel better, but I need that.
Whoever. How much are the patches, Rudy?
I can't say the price yet, but they're affordable.
Okay. Whoever sends me the best meme of Massa falling asleep, I will personally pay for your patch. None of these motherfuckers. I will. The best one.
SFTS96.com/YouTube for the YouTube link. With that being said, it's another episode of Straight from the Stands. I'm boy Rudy. I'm Smarts on Twitch. I'm Smarts on Twitter. I'm Smarts on the gram.
Jandefeated7, Instagram, Twitter.
ADS3691, Instagram only. Nowhere else anymore.
Damn, that's why.
Twitter's the best meme. What the fuck?
I know it is, but fuck. Listen, I had Rudy knows. I had a moment of zen.
Epiphany.
I did what Rudy does. You know how he always goes to Mayanas? I busted a Rudy for a long period of time, and I'm in a good place right now. So
I like it.
Rudy is.
I like it.
Yeah, like my new. I don't know. Rudyism. I'm gonna call it Rudyism. I'm in Rudyism now.
That just means he's getting old.
Fuck you. Sign me off, man. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm done with this shit.
Peace, love, and G's up.
Peace, y'all.
Oh shit.
All right, it ended this time. All right, good shit.